Hello, it's Catherine here. I'm bringing you the daily devotion, and we're going to continue from where we left off. So in the last devotion, I spoke about how Jesus was cleansing the temple, getting everything out that wasn't there, that honored God the Father. And he said, "This is my Father's house, and it shall be a place of prayer." And then the people sat listening to his every word. They were hanging on his every word. So what does he do next? He does a series of teachings of the next couple of days. And he's even challenged, by what authority are you teaching and saying these things? And it's amazing that they could challenge the Son of God, but they did. But he didn't make himself answerable to them. He stood his ground because he knew what authority he was coming in, God the Father. And he continued teaching various parables. And at the end of the one parable in Luke 20, verse 16, he says, "The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. What does that mean? So in other words, the Pharisees and the Sadducees had rejected his teaching. But those who were hanging on his every word, so the stone was a stumbling block so they would fall, the Pharisees and Sadducees. But those who hung on his every word, this stone became the cornerstone for the people. A cornerstone is like a part of a house or a part of a building or a part of a bridge that holds all the bricks together so it doesn't collapse. If you remove the cornerstone, it's not stable anymore. And that's what it's like in our lives. We need to hang on to Jesus' every word. He needs to be our cornerstone. We need to choose him to be our cornerstone and not our stumbling block. So he carries on teaching in the temple. And when I read at the end of Luke chapter 21, it's interesting. It says that, this is verse 37, "And every day he was teaching in the temple, but at night he went out and lodged on the mount called Olivet." So he taught and preached every day in the temple, and then he went to rest on the Mount of Olivet, to pray, to be with his Father, to refresh, to reflect. And then early in the morning, the people would come and want to hang on his every word. And what was he teaching? He was actually teaching a lot of the time about the end times, what would happen for those people living in that age. He spoke about the destruction of the temple, that would just completely be destroyed, which it was. He also spoke about the destruction of Jerusalem, what that would happen, and it actually did happen. But how did he bring the people hope? He spoke about himself coming again to be their rescuer in Luke 21, verse 25. And he said, "And there will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and on earth distress in the nations. There'll be perplexity because of the roaring of the sea and the waves, and people fainting with fear and with foreboding. And what is going on in the world? For the powers of heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming on a cloud with power and great glory." Now when these things begin to take place, straighten up, raise your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. So I don't know what you're facing in your world and the challenges that you're experiencing in your world right now, but I encourage you to look up and picture Jesus coming on a white cloud. He has overcome evil. He is seated at the right hand of the Father, and he is coming again. And he is going to redeem us fully and redeem this earth and restore everything to himself. So let us hope in him. Let us hold on to his teachings. God bless you.